Welcome, brave explorers, to Twisted Dimensions, your portal to the realms where horror, science fiction, and fantasy collide. Each week, we'll guide you through the labyrinth of the uncanny and the extraordinary, where the boundaries of reality blur and the impossible becomes possible. Descend with us into the darkest depths of horror as we venture into the macabre and the grotesque. We'll explore chilling tales of vengeful spirits, creatures that lurk in the shadows, and the unrelenting dread that stalks our most primal fears. We'll leap into the future, immersing ourselves in the world of science fiction. Discover dystopian landscapes where humanity grapples with technology run amok, and witness the awe-inspiring wonders of the cosmos as we traverse the farthest reaches of the universe. And for those who yearn for enchantment and adventure, we'll delve into the realm of fantasy, journeying through mythical lands of magic, valiant heroes, and timeless legends. Together, we'll navigate the treacherous realms of dragons, sorcerers, and ancient gods. So, whether you're a lover of the eerie, the futuristic, or the fantastical, join us on this thrilling voyage into the unknown. Embrace the shadows, steel your nerves, and step into the world where nightmares and dreams converge as we embark on another enthralling episode of Twisted Dimensions. Welcome to tonight's chilling tale of terror. Join a group of friends as they stumble upon an abandoned military bunker hidden deep within the woods. As they venture into its dark depths, they discover that the spirits of tortured souls still haunt its corridors. Facing their darkest fears, they must navigate the bunker's sinister secrets, all while a malevolent force threatens to consume them. Can they escape the bunker's chilling grasp, or will they be forever bound to its darkness? Stay tuned to find out.
The sun was setting on an unusually warm autumn day as a group of friends trekked through the woods, enjoying the vibrant colors of the leaves and the crisp air. They had decided to go for a hike to make the most of the weekend, escaping the humdrum of their daily lives. The chatter among them was light-hearted and filled with laughter, their camaraderie evident in every step they took. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the shadows grew longer, and the atmosphere took on an eerie quality. It was then that Alex, the most adventurous of the group, spotted something peculiar in the distance. A hidden structure, half covered in moss and overgrown vines, peeked out from between the trees. "Hey, guys, check this out. I think I see something up ahead," Alex exclaimed, his excitement piquing the curiosity of his friends. As the group approached the object, it became clear that it was an old military bunker, long forgotten and swallowed by the encroaching woods. The large, rusted metal door creaked under the weight of its years, a silent sentinel guarding the bunker's dark secrets. "Whoa, it looks like some kind of old military bunker. I didn't know there was one around here," said Jennifer, her eyes wide with amazement. Lucas, the most cautious member of the group, furrowed his brow, uneasy about the discovery. "Are you sure we should go in? This place looks like it hasn't been touched in years. It could be dangerous." Alex, not one to back down from a challenge, brushed off Lucas's concerns. "Oh, come on. Where's your sense of adventure? Besides, what's the worst that could happen? It's just an old bunker." With a mix of trepidation and excitement, the friends decided to explore the mysterious bunker. They pulled out their flashlights, the beams cutting through the gloom as they stepped into the darkness beyond the threshold. The air inside was stale and cold, a stark contrast to the warm autumn day they had just left behind. As they ventured deeper into the bunker, the faint echoes of their footsteps and hushed voices seemed to awaken something within the shadows. Unbeknownst to them, the spirits of tortured souls that haunted these depths were stirring, disturbed by the intrusion. In the darkness, the friends would soon confront their deepest fears and the chilling grasp of the bunker's tormented inhabitants. For in this forsaken place, the line between the living and the dead was about to blur, dragging them all into a nightmare from which they might never escape. The friends continued to navigate the maze of cold, damp corridors, their flashlights casting eerie shadows on the peeling walls. The bunker seemed to stretch on forever, a labyrinth of forgotten despair. The deeper they ventured, the more they felt a growing sense of unease. As they walked, they began to notice strange markings on the walls. At first, they appeared to be random scratches, but soon it became apparent that they were something more. There were words, messages scrawled by those who had been trapped within the bunker long ago. Frantic pleas for help and warnings of impending doom sent chills down their spines. "Guys, are you seeing this?" Emily whispered, her voice trembling with fear. "These messages. They're so disturbing." "We should turn back," Lucas insisted, his earlier caution returning. "This place isn't right. We shouldn't be here." Despite the growing unease, Alex remained undeterred. "You're all just spooking yourselves. We're the first people to set foot in here in decades. It's a unique opportunity to explore history. Don't let a few creepy messages ruin it." Reluctantly, the group pressed on, the haunting messages on the walls weighing on their minds. The atmosphere grew heavier, and a chill permeated the air, making them shiver despite their warm clothing. As they rounded a corner, they heard a faint, unsettling sound, whispers echoing through the empty corridors. They froze, their hearts pounding in their chests, and exchanged nervous glances. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, as if they were calling out to the intruders. "Did you hear that?" Jennifer asked, her voice barely audible. "Yeah, I did," replied Emily, her eyes wide with terror. "It sounded like voices." Panic began to set in, and the friends debated whether to turn back or continue further. The bunker's chilling grasp tightened around them, ensnaring them in a web of dread and unease. In the end, curiosity won out, and they decided to push on, hoping to uncover the source of the whispers and the dark secrets hidden within the bunker's depths. As the group hesitantly moved forward, the whispers seemed to surround them, reverberating through the dark corridors. The friends could no longer deny that something otherworldly was happening within the bunker. "Alex, I think we've seen enough," Jennifer pleaded, her voice cracking with fear. "We need to leave. Now." For the first time, even Alex couldn't hide his growing unease. He nodded in agreement. "All right, let's get out of here." But as they tried to retrace their steps, they realized the bunker's labyrinthine layout had become disorienting. The passages seemed to shift and change, as if they were alive. The once familiar corridors had become a twisted maze, trapping them inside. As panic threatened to overtake them, the friends clung to each other for support, their flashlights flickering as if they too were succumbing to the bunker's oppressive atmosphere. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, the voices unintelligible yet undeniably menacing. Just when it seemed as if the terror would consume them, a door appeared in the beam of Lucas's flashlight. It was unlike any they had seen in the bunker so far, its surface adorned with strange, arcane symbols. "Maybe there's another way out through here," he suggested, desperation evident in his voice. With no other options, the friends cautiously opened the door, revealing a dimly lit room filled with dust-covered relics of the past. In the center of the room stood a large, rusted metal table, its surface stained with dark, dried fluids. Around the room, the walls were lined with shelves filled with decaying jars containing unidentifiable substances. "What is this place?" Emily murmured, her voice barely audible. The air in the room felt thick and heavy, charged with an unseen, malevolent presence. As they entered, the whispers stopped abruptly, replaced by an oppressive silence that weighed on them like a shroud. And then, without warning, the door slammed shut behind them, plunging the room into darkness. The friends huddled together, their flashlights providing the only source of light in the suffocating gloom. The unseen presence had them firmly in its grasp, and there was no escape. As they struggled to find a way out, the tortured souls of the bunker began to make themselves known, their twisted, spectral forms emerging from the shadows. Desperate to break free from the eternal torment that bound them to this forsaken place, the spirits saw the friends as their salvation, or their doom. And with each passing moment, the line between the living and the dead continued to blur, drawing the friends deeper into the nightmare that haunted the bunker's depths. Terror coursed through the friends as they realized they were not alone in the room. The spectral forms circled them, their twisted faces etched with anguish and rage. The air grew colder, the temperature dropping with each passing second. "We need to find a way out of here," Jennifer whispered, her voice trembling. As they searched the room, the spirits seemed to grow more agitated, their wails and whispers growing in intensity. It was Emily who noticed a faded map on the wall, obscured by years of grime and decay. "Look at this," she said, her voice shaking. "Maybe this can help us find a way out." With no time to lose, the friends studied the map, desperate to find an escape route. But as they traced the lines and examined the symbols, a sinking realization began to set in: there was no way out. The map, it seemed, was a cruel ruse, a mocking reminder of their hopeless situation. Despair washed over them as they came to terms with their fate, trapped within the bunker's cold, unforgiving embrace. The spirits, sensing their prey's growing despair, grew more aggressive, their ghostly forms lashing out in fury. The friends could feel the chilling touch of the dead, the icy grip of despair threatening to overtake them. With no other choice, the group decided to venture deeper into the bunker, hoping against hope to find some way to escape the nightmare that had ensnared them. The spirits continued to pursue them, their unearthly screams echoing through the maze of corridors. As they delved further into the dark depths, the bunker seemed to come alive around them, the walls groaning and shifting, as if trying to keep them trapped within its clutches. The air grew colder, more oppressive, and a tangible sense of malevolence surrounded them. The further they went, the more they realized that the bunker was not simply a tomb for the dead, but a living entity, feeding on their terror and despair. And as they wandered deeper into the darkness, they began to understand that they had become part of the bunker's grim legacy, their lives inexorably entwined with the tormented souls that haunted its depths. As the friends continued their desperate search for an exit, they stumbled upon a heavy, iron door deep within the bunker. It was unlike any they had encountered before, its surface covered in strange, archaic symbols that seemed to pulse with a sinister energy. With a mix of trepidation and curiosity, they pushed the door open, revealing a dimly lit chamber. In the center of the room sat a figure, an old man with a gaunt, skeletal face and eyes that seemed to pierce their very souls. "Who are you?" Alex demanded, his voice shaking with fear and anger. The old man smirked, his thin lips curling into a cruel smile. "I am the keeper of this place, the guardian of the souls trapped within these walls." The friends exchanged uneasy glances, their hope of escape dwindling with each passing moment. The old man's gaze locked onto Alex, his eyes boring into him with an intensity that made Alex's skin crawl. "I can see the desperation in your eyes," the old man whispered, his voice cold and unnerving. "You want to escape this place, to leave this nightmare behind." Alex hesitated, his heart pounding in his chest. "What do you want from me?" The old man leaned forward, his voice barely audible as he revealed his sinister proposal. "I will grant you your freedom, but in return, you must leave your friends behind. They will remain here, bound to this place for eternity, just as the others who have come before them." Alex stared at the old man in disbelief, his mind racing as he considered the terrible bargain. His friends, who had been through so much with him, were now at the mercy of this twisted keeper. He looked at Jennifer, her eyes filled with terror, Emily, her face pale and drawn, and Lucas, who was shaking with fear. He knew that he could not abandon them to such a cruel fate. "No," Alex said firmly, his voice steady despite his fear. "I will not leave them behind. We will find another way out." The old man's smile vanished, replaced by a look of cold fury. "Very well," he hissed, his voice dripping with malice. "You have made your choice. But remember this, young man, the darkness that you have awoken within these walls will follow you, and the tormented souls that dwell here will never forget your betrayal." As the friends backed away from the old man, the room around them began to tremble, the very walls of the bunker groaning in protest. They knew that they had no choice but to press onward, to face the horrors that lay ahead and confront the darkness that threatened to consume them. Together, they would defy the sinister bargain and the malevolent force that sought to claim their souls, determined to escape the bunker's chilling grasp and emerge from the depths, forever changed by their harrowing ordeal. As the friends pressed onward, navigating the bunker's twisting corridors, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The air grew colder, and an oppressive silence settled over them. It wasn't long before they began to notice Jennifer's strange behavior. Her eyes were glazed over, and she moved as if in a trance, her steps slow and deliberate. The others exchanged worried glances, concerned for their friend's well-being. "Jennifer, are you okay?" Emily asked, her voice trembling with concern. Jennifer's only response was a vacant stare, her eyes devoid of any recognition. "Something's wrong with her," Lucas whispered, fear evident in his voice. "It's like she's possessed or something." As they continued through the bunker, Jennifer's behavior grew increasingly bizarre. She would often mutter unintelligible words under her breath, her voice cold and emotionless. At times, she would laugh maniacally, the sound chilling them to their very core. The friends tried to maintain their composure, but the fear gnawing at them grew stronger with each passing moment. They knew they needed to find a way to help Jennifer and escape the bunker before it was too late. As they ventured deeper into the darkness, they stumbled upon a room filled with ancient tomes and scrolls, the air thick with the scent of decaying parchment. Desperate for answers, they began to search the room, hoping to find some way to save their friend. Emily discovered a tattered book, its pages filled with cryptic symbols and ominous illustrations. The book seemed to hold the key to their salvation, detailing a ritual to banish the evil that had taken hold of Jennifer. "We have to try this," Emily urged, her voice filled with determination. "We can't let whatever this is take her from us." The friends gathered around Jennifer, who had become eerily still, her eyes fixed on some unseen point in the distance. As they prepared to perform the ritual, they couldn't help but feel a deep sense of foreboding, as if they were about to confront an unimaginable darkness. They began to recite the words from the ancient book, their voices shaky but resolute. As they spoke, the room seemed to come alive, the shadows writhing and twisting like living creatures. Jennifer's body convulsed, her eyes rolling back in her head as the entity within her fought to maintain its control. The friends continued the ritual, their voices growing stronger, fueled by their love for Jennifer and their determination to save her. With a final, desperate cry, they completed the incantation, and Jennifer collapsed to the floor, the entity expelled from her body in a burst of inky darkness. Exhausted but relieved, they helped Jennifer to her feet, her eyes once again filled with warmth and recognition. Together, they vowed to continue their search for an exit, their bond stronger than ever as they faced the unknown horrors that still awaited them within the bunker's depths. The friends continued their harrowing journey, their spirits buoyed by Jennifer's recovery. Their determination to escape the bunker's sinister clutches only grew stronger with each passing moment. Eventually, they came upon another door, its surface etched with strange markings, and a peculiar locking mechanism at its center. The mechanism appeared to be a hand-shaped impression, the fingers curled slightly as if inviting someone to place their hand within it. The friends hesitated, wary of the dangers that might be waiting for them on the other side. Lucas, ever the brave one, took a deep breath and steeled himself. "I'll do it," he said, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and resolve. As Lucas placed his hand into the mechanism, a sudden, searing pain shot through his arm. The door's fingers tightened around his hand like a vice, blood pouring from the edges as the mechanism's grip intensified. Lucas cried out in agony, his friends looking on in horror. "Lucas!" Emily screamed, her hands flying to her mouth in shock. Jennifer and Alex tried to pry the door's grip from Lucas's hand, but the mechanism held fast, its grip unyielding. Panic began to set in as they realized they needed to act quickly to save their friend from the door's malevolent grasp. With no other options, they searched the area for anything that might help them free Lucas. Jennifer discovered a series of intricate symbols carved into the doorframe, the lines and angles forming a complex pattern. "Maybe this is some sort of puzzle or code we need to solve," she suggested, her voice frantic. Working together, the friends deciphered the mysterious symbols, their minds racing as they attempted to unlock the door's deadly grip on Lucas. As they solved the last piece of the puzzle, the door's fingers finally released Lucas's hand, his arm shaking from the ordeal. The door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit passage beyond. Lucas cradled his injured hand, blood still oozing from the deep cuts the mechanism had inflicted. "We need to find a way out of here," Jennifer said, her eyes filled with worry as she looked at Lucas's hand. "And we need to find it fast." The friends pressed onward, their resolve tested by the terrifying trials they had faced thus far. As they ventured deeper into the bunker, they knew that they would need to rely on each other more than ever before if they were to escape the darkness that threatened to consume them all. After what felt like an eternity of navigating the bunker's twisted corridors and facing unimaginable horrors, the friends finally stumbled upon an exit. A hidden passage revealed by the door's mysterious unlocking led them to the surface, the fresh air a welcome relief from the oppressive atmosphere they had left behind. Exhausted and covered in the dust and grime of the bunker, they made their way back to their car, their hearts filled with a mixture of relief and apprehension. The horrors they had witnessed and the trials they had faced weighed heavily upon them, the memories forever etched in their minds. As they reached the car, they couldn't shake the feeling that something was still not quite right. The air around them seemed charged with an electric tension, the shadows of the surrounding forest appearing to dance and sway in the faint moonlight. "Guys, do you feel that?" Alex asked, his voice barely more than a whisper. Jennifer nodded, her eyes darting around nervously. "It's like something followed us out of the bunker." The friends climbed into the car, their hearts pounding in their chests as they fumbled with the keys and started the engine. As they pulled away from the bunker's entrance, a chilling sense of dread settled over them. In the rearview mirror, Emily caught a glimpse of a dark figure, its form barely discernible in the shadows. She let out a gasp, her hand flying to her mouth in terror. "What's wrong?" Lucas asked, his voice trembling with fear. Emily could hardly speak, her breaths coming in shallow gasps. "I saw something in the mirror. It was watching us." The friends exchanged uneasy glances, the weight of their ordeal settling upon them like a heavy cloak. They knew that, although they had escaped the bunker's physical grasp, the darkness they had encountered within its depths had left an indelible mark on their souls. As they drove away from the forest, the friends vowed to support one another, determined to confront the lingering shadows that threatened to consume them. They knew that the road ahead would be long and fraught with uncertainty, but together, they would face the darkness and emerge stronger for it. The morning sun rose over the sleepy town, its golden rays casting long shadows as the friends tried to return to their normal routines. The events of the previous night seemed almost like a terrible nightmare, the horrors they had faced too gruesome to be real. As they went about their day, however, they couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. The world around them felt off kilter, the lingering unease from the bunker refusing to fade. It was around midday when Alex received a frantic call from Jennifer's mother. Her voice quivered with panic as she explained that Jennifer had vanished without a trace. "I don't understand it," she sobbed, her voice breaking with emotion. "She never leaves without telling me where she's going." The friends quickly gathered at Jennifer's house, their hearts heavy with dread. They knew that whatever they had encountered in the bunker had followed them, and now their friend was in grave danger. "We have to find her," Emily declared, her eyes brimming with tears. "We can't let whatever that thing is take her away from us." Lucas, his hand bandaged from the previous night's ordeal, nodded in agreement. "We'll search every inch of this town if we have to. We won't stop until we find her." With grim determination, the friends set out to search for Jennifer, their minds racing with the possibilities of what might have befallen her. They scoured the town, questioning anyone who might have seen her and following up on even the faintest of leads. As the hours ticked by, their desperation grew, the sun sinking lower in the sky as the day wore on. It was just as the last light of day began to fade that Alex stumbled upon a clue. "I found this in the woods," he said, holding up a small, intricately carved amulet. "It's Jennifer's. She never goes anywhere without it." The friends exchanged uneasy glances, the significance of the discovery not lost on them. They knew that they would have to face the darkness once more if they were to save their friend and put an end to the evil that had infiltrated their lives. With renewed determination, they set off into the night, following the trail of the amulet as it led them deeper into the shadows. They vowed to confront the darkness head-on and rescue Jennifer, no matter the cost. The friends followed Jennifer's trail, the amulet leading them back to the very place they had hoped never to see again, the abandoned military bunker. The sight of it sent shivers down their spines, but they knew that they had no choice. They had to enter the bunker to save their friend. Gathering their courage, they ventured back into the dark depths of the bunker, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and determination. As they stepped into the first room, they were stunned to find Jennifer standing before them. But she was no longer the friend they had known and loved. Her eyes were cold and empty, her face twisted into a malevolent grin. She had replaced the old man as the keeper of the bunker, her spirit now bound to its dark power. "Jennifer," Emily whispered, tears streaming down her face. "What has it done to you?" Jennifer's laugh was chilling, the sound echoing through the bunker like a haunting melody. "It has given me power, my dear friends. Power you could never understand." Lucas stepped forward, his voice trembling with emotion. "Please, Jennifer. Let us help you. You don't have to be a part of this. Her smile only grew wider, her eyes filled with a cruel and wicked light. There is no turning back for me now. But I will grant you one last act of mercy. I will allow you to leave this place unharmed. The friends hesitated, their hearts aching with the pain of losing Jennifer to the darkness. But they knew that they had no other choice. They had to leave before they, too, were consumed by the evil that had claimed their friend. As they slowly made their way back to the entrance, they could hear Jennifer's evil laughter echoing through the woods, a haunting reminder of the terrible price they had paid. With heavy hearts, they left the bunker, the door closing behind them with a final, resounding thud. They knew that their lives would never be the same, the shadows of the bunker forever lingering in the corners of their minds. As they walked away from the cursed place, they vowed never to forget their friend and to honor her memory by living their lives to the fullest. Though the darkness had claimed Jennifer, they would continue to be a beacon of light for one another, bound together by the love and friendship that had seen them through the darkest of times.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our chilling journey into the haunted bunker. We hope you enjoyed this spine-tingling tale and that it left you on the edge of your seat. Thank you so much for joining us and for allowing us to share this story with you. To all our loyal listeners, we couldn't do this without your support, and we truly appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed this eerie adventure, be sure to share it with your friends and family. There's nothing like a good scare to bring people together. We look forward to sharing more captivating stories with you in future episodes. Remember to subscribe and leave a review to let us know your thoughts. Keep an eye, or an ear, out for our next thrilling tale, and remember, when the shadows grow long and the darkness closes in, you never know what might be lurking just around the corner. Until next time, sleep tight, and thanks for listening.